Alright. I think we're back. Hopefully we're back. We'd be annoyed if we're not. But, that being said, from the first little snippet of the stream that you were hopefully watching, Mina had requested to talk to Aiden. Did anyone else have anything that they wanted to try and do?
Nah, I'm gonna sit back, get some rays, and eat my oranges.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely eat some oranges and probably practice my familiar casting.
Alright.
Aw.
Fair enough.
Did you ever name your crab?
I have not named my crab yet.
Because it's gonna be a
You
dumb name.
should. Oh, how dare you!
I mean, if I wanted to name it,
I mean, we have Storm and Golden, so I'm sure you can be more creative than
Kill
that.
If I wanted to name it something dumb, I'd name it Revan.
Kill you. Do it. Calm down, man. What'll happen? Death upon you.
Mm-hmm. Well, if nobody wants to do anything, okay, cool. I wanna see what the fuck is going on with Aiden. He's being a little catty, and it's sounding kind of culty, you know.
Culty.
So I'm concerned about our friend. So I was always on good terms with him.
You were.
So.
I'd say out of all the group, yes, you would be just simply because you didn't insult him. But either way, yeah, Mina, you would head downstairs and you would see Aiden in the mess hall, just sort of sitting there, casually having a sort of like, just afternoon drink. He sees you come, he's like, hey there, Mina, how you doing?
I am doing so well. How have you been?
Oh, I'm mighty fine. Just mighty fine. Very excited about your little expedition here. That's pretty interesting stuff. I didn't think y'all be doing so much in my absence.
Aw, yeah, we've been pretty busy. Yeah. So, gosh, how long were we gone? Huh. So, I wanted to ask a few more questions about your time when we were gone, if you don't mind. I'm just incredibly curious.
Oh, I'll answer as much as I feel I should, but yeah, if you're so curious.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, nothing that makes you uncomfortable. Hopefully, nothing that is too personal. Just as a cleric and a young lady of religion and spirituality, I just am incredibly curious as to what exactly that group was doing. I'm very curious. Just yeah, I've never heard of them before, and I try to keep up to date on at least having some idea of the major religions in our area, because I know that I worship a very minor and not very well known goddess, but I do try to make sure that I'm at least somewhat informed on groups around where I am. And if this is a growing group in our own city, I would love to know more about it.
Roll me a disadvantage persuasion check, Mina.
Okay. Let's see. Persuasion is only +1.
Is that as well? This stream I just got a little bit of a teaser of a set I've made for an upcoming thing since I closed it trying to improve the computer. But let's see. First roll's a 16, then a 12.
Ooh.
Aiden will look at you and just sort of, kind of like nods, like, all right. I'm not gonna lie. From the initial time I known you, Mina, you never struck me as the full religious type. But I'll take you at your word. You seem to be a trustworthy lady, for the most part. I'm indeed a part of a sort of similar to you, a deity that ain't really worshipped, as much as the big three, Pelor, Melora, and Bahamut.
Mm-hmm.
My deity being
Mm-hmm.
more reserved to smaller gatherings and whatnot. People who are looking for something specific, but don't find that in the sort of the big three. You ever hear of a?
I,
Oh, were you about to say something?
Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to
Oh,
ask.
I was gonna say I totally understand. Yeah.
Hmm, I appreciate that. You know, why don't you tell me about your god, and I'll tell you just a little bit about mine, if that's fair.
Absolutely. So I worship the goddess Ate. She is a goddess of trickery and in good-natured, um, prankster kind of sort of things. I grew up with merchant parents. We traveled around a lot. I was exposed to a lot of different cultures and religions and peoples, and I did a lot of reading while we were, on the road. And I came across this one kind of random book that didn't look like anybody really wanted. I forget how exactly we came to acquire it, and it was all about the goddess Ate. And I just thought it was so incredibly interesting that there was this goddess, and I felt kind of sad that nobody was worshiping her, and it felt like she deserved to have at least one follower. And so, even though I've never really come across anyone else who worships her, um, and I think considering that very early on in my journey of leaving um, my hometown and going off to explore the world, I was a lot more of a prankster and a bit more silly than I am now. I think that with all of the serious situations that we've all been in, the times that we were at death's door, it definitely did make me a lot more careful. It definitely changed me, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I still love the even just the idea of worshiping her, because she's just such a playful and playing pranks but not ever hurting anyone, just like a gentle sort of mischief.
I get that. I get that. Just good old fashioned lighthearted fun, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I must admit, Miss Mina, I'm not too familiar with whichever deity you do speak of, but she does sound, or they do. Sorry, I don't know why I'm assuming it's a woman. I don't know why. I guess that's my own personal past of trickery and whatnot coming out, but does sound
Mhm.
mighty interested, I must admit. That being said, have you ever heard of the I, to those watching who are diehard D&D fans, I do apologize if I get the terminology wrong. You ever heard of the Crooked Tower?
No,
Well,
I haven't.
see, my deity is one who, in myth, was believed to have arose from a mere mortal into the state of godliness. He got enough people to believe in what he did. His convictions were strong enough to make the people unite behind him. And through his teachings and his words and the belief of those behind him, he rose to that of the gods himself. Now, the gods were pretty confused
Oh,
and concerned
wow.
about that, to be honest, and they didn't know how to feel about that. In fact, they thought perhaps this weren't a good god. So they represent him poorly in their own opinions and whatnot. But I'd like to think that if there were supposed to be a god that a man like me should follow, it should be one that's self made. One who started off like me, who didn't know what was going on, but made something of himself.
That is a very attractive idea, and I definitely understand the victors are the ones who write history, and so you can't always trust only one side of any story.
That's right. That is very right. You know, they have a little bit of that teaching my my group as well. It's where everything very much should be taken with a bit of grain of salt, if you think about it.
Mhm. Mhm. It seems to have brought you a lot of peace, which makes me so happy for you.
Yeah, you know, I had some odd occurrences whilst y'all were out, and I figured I'd try and seek a higher power for once, because I've always been a sort of, self-made man, and then hear about this power that was a self-made man. Well, it got me mighty curious, so I figured I'm not gonna buy in whole hog, but at the very least, I'd, attend a few book meetings, talk to some folk, get their opinion. There's some nice people.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see the appeal in that type of a god. Um, that is very interesting. Thank you for talking with me about this. I understand it seems to make you a little uncomfortable, so I appreciate the trust that you've put in me. I understand that some of the people in our group are not always as kind to you as they should be, but I want you to at least know that you have one ally.
Well, I mighty appreciate that, Mina. And besides, the group's got their ways for acting.
Absolutely.
I mean, Raven's always going off about how he's some sort of salty sea dog pirate from back in the day. I can kind of see it, but, he's a little bit of a bitch in my opinion. But hey, maybe that's how they are on the ocean. I don't know. I'm not a sailor. And Aragon, he's just quiet. He's got the size to back up what he says, so I'm not going to question it. And Vanith, I can't quite place him, but he's quite a kind fella, but seems to dogpile in when the moment's right. But if there's
Yeah, that's not a bad assessment.
if there was
He's spot on.
there were one fella I'd like to sit down with for a little while. It's that Arrakis fella. In fact, I don't know if he's looking for any type of religion, but I'd love the opportunity just to take him to a couple people I've met with. Just have him chat for a little while.
Yeah, I that would be interesting. Would you like me to possibly speak to him about it?
I mean, if you don't mind, I'd certainly want to make the offer myself, but perhaps after we're back on mainland. Right now don't seem the right time to
Uh-huh.
ask if would you like to hear the good word, brother?
Yeah, understandable. Timing is very important when it comes to these sorts of things.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Miss Mina, I appreciate the conversation.
Absolutely. I'm very intrigued. So I hope to learn a little more.
Perhaps in time.
All right.
Who knows? Maybe you might make a change of faith.
Who knows? Nothing is set in stone.
And with that, he'll sort of indeed nod at that last comment and go back to his drink.
Okay. That sounds good. I just wanted to talk a little bit with him. But yeah, we can continue on, everyone.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to do aboard the ship for the day? Or I guess 2 days worth of travel. As the boat's just being pulled by a storm giant.
You didn't see my comment in the chat on
Oh, I did.
Roll20 Chan?
I did, yeah, but I was also
okay.
I was worrying about like
That's
proper
where I heard it was
RP,
going.
and then also OBS acted up twice during that, and I was like, I can't say anything or else I'll break the RP and ruin the character development.
All right. I just
It's
wanted to
character
make sure we
development.
got in there for
I
you.
got you. But
Anybody who's seen the parody movie and knows what we're talking about.
oh god, that's a surprisingly good movie. But boy, oh boy, is it awful. Was it Division
But no,
3?
I think we're all pretty. Oh yeah, D3, yeah. It's not quite NAIA, but it's D3.
Gotcha.
D3. But no, we're chill with this thing pulling the ship. You know, I'm not familiar with all the terms.
Well, Aragon, you would at least know it as just a giant because you were the one to talk to him the most.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's out of necessity.
Yeah. But yeah, with that, Aragon's good with SAB. Revan, Vanith, and Eris. Anything you guys want to do? Or are you guys good to keep going?
I'm Gucci, just hanging out, trying to learn more magic, just kind of practicing what I do now.
All right. More than easily, you're able to summon the crab.
Yeah.
But Vanith, you would also be. Oh, wait a minute! I remembered another thing. Revan and Arrakis were down in the boat as Revan was attuning to the other stone.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
What stone?
Now, let me pull
That's
up.
right.
Now, I closed my laptop to try and improve the internet for the big computer, so let me just turn this thing on and put it to airplane mode so it doesn't sap the internet. Welcome to the World of Astaria stream, everybody, where I really have to juggle a lot of different things to make the internet work. Even at
We appreciate you for it.
Even at the undisclosed streaming location.
Exactly, yes. I don't know what's happening, but apparently it's shit right now. But yes. Revan, you were sat in a room with Arrakis. He looks a little tired, but for the most part, still up for most of what's going on. Happy to help you and watching over you as you kind of take the time to think. And as you sit there with the sort of ruby you had acquired from the Dragonborn woman back in Notrafia, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage with a -2.
Oh, jeez.
You deserve
really
this.
pushing this on me, huh?
Well, I mean, you were going to be a good sport and attuned to both of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of disadvantages.
Well, I mean, they got to try and talk to you somehow.
Yes. Alright, so you said Constitution -2.
Yes.
It's disadvantage.
You don't have to remind him.
Well, I only have to do -1 because I have a +1. So
9. So, Revan, you're sitting there in this sort of meditative state. You have the ruby in one hand, and you have, I believe it's Gilderock. Nope, that's the wrong one.
Yes.
You have
Sephiroth.
Oh.
You have Sephiroth still affixed to your belt, kind of like. I guess the best way to describe it would be like a wallet chain, to where there's a chain and then it's affixed to the stone itself.
You got Dwayne the Rock.
Yeah,
Thanos one day.
the coolest thing, a wallet chain. But yeah, you're sitting there.
This is like 2004 all over again.
Yeah. Listen,
Never moved on.
Revan's currently listening to Real Big Fish and getting ready to do the skank.
God, I'm in. I am in. Don't even have to ask.
Oh, we got a ska fan. Alright. So, Revan, you're sitting there, and slowly you feel that sensation of weightlessness come back to you, and you're expecting that dark void to whenever you interact with Sephiroth. But instead, you feel solid ground beneath you as you wake up to a sort of temperate jungle at the night. This sort of opening of a small, kind of circular grassland around you, as not too far off jungle surrounds you from the horizons. As you see this sort of ramshackled looking hut structure that has been built. It is dark on the inside as slowly the door opens as what you can guess is the form of Sephiroth starts to emerge from it. This towering dark orange type figure with gnarled looking nasty teeth, large sort of bright orange eyes, dark orange skin. Think like if Venom was orange and stepped out of a sort of small wooden shack and he's looking over towards you.
Interesting.
I just stare at him.
He then steps out of the doorway as stepping out behind him is a much smaller woman. Red skin, metallic looking red hair, beautiful apart from sort of animalistic type clawed hands and sort of draconic looking feet as she looks around, just aghast, like, oh, it's so nice to finally see a little bit of home again. Oh, hello! As she waves to you and starts to walk over.
Just pull out my gun and put it near my head.
Oh, there's no need for that.
Oh no, if it'll get me out of this dream quicker.
Oh. So you're not a friend, you're just someone looking in, I guess. Well, at the very least, it's nice to be able to walk around.
You're welcome.
Do you mind, before doing anything rash, I just at least get to sit for a while?
Sure.
Thank you. She kind of sits down far from you, as she can kind of already tell that you just don't like this situation, so she's not going to try and approach you any more than she already did. She'll just look to you and be like, well, at the very least, what is your name?
Revan.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Revan.
Are you not going to compliment my name?
I must admit, it's quite a lovely name.
Good. Thank you.
However, I haven't heard too many names, so I don't have much to compare it to, but I do like it.
What's your name?
I am Havarok.
Havarok and Sephiroth. Huh?
Yes, I'm his younger sister.
Very creative.
Well, we were all named sort of similarly to our father.
Is your father's name Rock?
No, his name's not Rock. Let's see what his name is. Give me a second. And then I'm going to roll to see if he remembers what it is. Alright, time to roll d20. And she's pretty ditzy, so it's just going to be a straight roll. Oh! My father's name was Onarok.
The elegant name.
Well, is it not uncommon for people to have clan names or last names?
Yeah, they call me Revan.
Just Revan. I'm sorry, what was that last part?
I cure scurvy. That's my special power.
Scurvy? And what is that?
The worst.
Who is that? Who just spoke?
How much time do you have? How much time do you have to hear about our Lord and Savior?
Literally as much time as possible. I'm inside your dream, so as long as you're willing to talk about it, I'm willing to listen. And you see, eventually, kind of.
Since it's my dream.
Yeah, this is your time, buddy. You can choose just to go back to sleep.
Okay, I conjure up a big ass orange.
Yeah, you
with a face.
Yeah, you conjure up an orange, and you see Sephiroth kind of sit down next to his sister. She kind of like taps him on the leg and just points to the orange, and then points to him like, "Look, it's you, big orange man."
No, bigger than Sephiroth. Want it like double the size.
Right. Okay. Well, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, you can have a giant fucking orange. But yeah, she's just sort of laughing at the situation as Sephiroth is just kind of like, not even regarding you because he knows you don't like any of this. He's just kind of smiling at his sister.
Hey, pay attention to my god right here, okay? This is Lord Scurvy, and you will pay attention to him. Don't growl at me, or I'll throw you into the fucking ocean.
As he'll then look to the weird orange you've made, as opposed to his sister, as the two of them are now listening to you intently.
Alright. know you haven't seen each other in a while, and I'm not a complete asshole. You keep invading my dreams, so the least you can do is listen to me talk about my Lord and Savior Scurvy. Then you can go about your time, since you're in my dream. You feel like that's a fair trade?
The red one sort of looks. She's like, "Well, that seems all right to me."
Yes, I'm fine with that now.
That's it. Alright, so this big orange fella, right? He can save you. All of you. Some would say that his sacrifice of being eaten is the greatest sacrifice of all. Because he's protecting you from the one disease that has no cure. Scurvy.
I'm gonna roll intelligence
And
checks
Lord-
for the both of them.
It's been a while, man. They don't know about the ocean. Come on.
Well, one of them does because he's attached to a sailor. So, Ruby has no idea, and the Septirarch. He knows a little bit about scurvy already. He's just like,
He's our play.
he's not gonna say this to his sister, but he's just like,
Oh, he's playing it up.
but he'll still listen quietly and intently.
Now let me tell you, Lord Scurvy is here to save you too. And for only $9.95, you can also worship Lord Scurvy.
995 gold.
No, 9.95 gold.
My God.
The
9 gold, 9 silver, and 5 copper.
the red one will just sort of like clap along, like ooh, like absolutely fascinated as the orange ones just reach to a pocket that doesn't exist and pull out nothing and be like,
Oh no. I guess I'm a few gold short.
I conjure up 9.95 in his hand.
he'll just shrug and hand it to you.
Thank you for your. Thank you for
And I
worshiping Lord Scurvy.
got you. And I imagine instead of talking to them, you go on about scurvy for a couple hours.
I let them have their peace.
Okay. Well, they have their peace when you're awake, cause like unless you actively use them when you're awake, they just sort of hang out together.
Oh,
that's
well then,
sweet.
yes, I'm gonna talk for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Aw.
So with that in mind,
Is there any chance I can convince her to worship Lord Scurvy so every time I see her, she says, "All hail Lord Scurvy"?
make me. Let's see. Let me look her up. Make me a disadvantaged charisma check, because she's pretty charismatic.
You said she was ditzy.
She's straight charisma.
Fuck me. Really? Okay.
She will regard the idea of Lord Scurvy playfully, but she won't have any sort of serious intent to it.
I'm sad.
And you go back to the dark void of sadness as you see the two of them sort of waving goodbye, eagerly awaiting for your turn the next time to hear more fascinating stories.
As I wake up, I start to think to myself, I need to come up with something better than Lord Scurvy.
And you see Arrakis kind of looking... You actually see Arrakis looking at your hand, like examining it.
Oh, what's up? What's wrong with my hand?
Oh, hey. So, don't know if this involved with your rock collection, but that citrine that was hanging off your belt, well, take a look at this. And he shows you your hand, which now has a ruby ring on it with a sort of like citrine lining around the ruby.
Oh. What do you think it does?
Honestly, I've never encountered either of those stones before, so your guess is far better than mine, buddy.
I pointed at something.
It does nothing.
I just asked if I could point it at something.
Yeah, you can point the ring at something, but like if you're just pointing it at like the wall, it's not going to do anything.
I pointed at the oranges that I would assume are somewhere in the...
Oh, the orange as well.
And I say, scurvy!
Nothing happens. As Arrakis just kind of stands there being like, I'm sorry, something's supposed to happen?
I don't know. I conjured up a new god named Lord Scurvy, so I'm trying it out, seeing how this works out. Maybe I'll get lucky and there actually is a god of scurvy.
What do you mean you conjured up a god?
Well, I was in a dream with the two rocks. They like to talk to me. Big bitches, but, you know, the one's kind of funny because she's kind of an idiot, so...
Revan, he's going to put a hand on your shoulder, Revan. He's going to look at you. He's like, look, I'm sure you're older than me, being an elf, by some degree. You have a modicum of more wisdom than I do, perhaps. But as a man who grew up in a library studying magic, I don't know if you're fit to have that.
You say that, but then you didn't even realize I had the other one, and that I was actually keeping everybody safe.
Yeah,
and not allowing it to fall into bad hands.
I know you
so
have...
you say that.
Revan, I know you have the two of them. I know that.
Yeah. I didn't even use the other one, so we're good.
So, you know what? I won't question it. I just want you to know that if it becomes too much, you can let me know.
Well, if it becomes too much, then I'm going to bury them or throw them into the ocean.
Well, no, hold on.
I literally say that. I say that to the Ruby one very intently.
Look.
I want them to hear it.
Revan.
That sounds mean.
I'm not trying to be mean. Just letting them know not to fuck with me.
Mita's not in the room, so she doesn't say that, but Revan Arrakis will be like, look, I can understand what you're going for. However, as one from another universe, from what you told me, these rubies and stones and whatnot are not from here. So I will let you know now, if at every point two of them become too much, I would like simply the opportunity to talk to one. See if I can't learn anything. Because...
Probably not, but I appreciate the offer.
Well, don't say probably not, man. Look, I'm not trying to get back to where I'm from. I would just like to know from another thing that's not from here, like any at all advice or input. So if I see you try and throw it into the ocean, I'm going to be like, stop that and put you in a bubble. So please, just don't throw it away.
We'll see. Then I give him a hug. I say, all hail Lord Scurvy, and then I walk away.
What the fuck is Lord Scurvy?
I'm smiling like a little bitch right now.
Yeah, he hugs you back, but he's like still like, what the fuck? But with that, you all rest up for the night. The boat eventually coming to the stop as the storm giant just sort of ties the boat off to his arm and then lays down in the ocean. The night being rather peaceful as no creatures will approach the boat as it's tied to a storm giant. And Mina, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Cool. Ooh. Not good.
So Mina, and I do apologize for the viewers of the stream. I'm simply having a lot of visions happen because for some reason the internet's being weird. But I figured since we're recording it, I'll at least be able to put this on the YouTube channel. Mina, you drift off to sleep and slowly awake on that familiar warm sand beach. The familiar looking home that Aquaroch had built, and that mountain further off in the distance than the last time you were in the dream, as she sort of is sitting on her sort of porch, sort of just playing around with some sort of water that she's just manipulating. Oh, excuse me. Until eventually she notices you and waves. She's like, "Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hello, Mina."
Always good to see you.
Indeed. I do apologize if I'm intruding, but I was indeed hoping to talk to you in light of, well, your friend Revan having two of my siblings now.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what you've told me so far, he does not trust us, but he is entertaining the idea, I suppose.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't trust you guys. He thinks that I am incredibly easy to manipulate, and that I therefore cannot be trusted when it comes to these sorts of matters. So even if I do try to talk to him, he just chucks it all up to me being manipulated. Um, but I I think in his mind he has this like, I'm the hero, I'm the main character of the story, and I'm going to protect everyone by collecting them. And oh, wow, it's so, oh my gosh, I'm making such a sacrifice for the world. But
That sounds
he
like him.
seems, yes, thank you, Aragon.
What the hell is
And
that? As she points to Aragon, who slowly fades out of existence.
that's one of my friends. It's okay. He's fine. He's
How
fine.
did he get in
Um,
here?
They're so slow. They're imperceptible.
Well, I knew that if I were saying this out in person, that that's what Aragon would say. So I sort of manifested him here as just my backup, you know.
He's trying to be accurate.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You have a member
Yeah.
of your subconscious so accurate to your friend. That's actually incredible.
Oh, thank you. Um, but I do think that he is starting to realize that you guys are conscious beings that have a right to happiness as much as anyone else, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't see any harm in helping you. I mean, you're a conscious being who's in a bad place, and that you need help, and we go around helping everyone all the time. Just because you guys are in a different form doesn't mean that we shouldn't help you as well.
That does calm me to hear such kind words. I appreciate that. Well, perhaps your friend can get to know Sephiroth and Havarok. I'm so glad she's okay. She is my younger sister, so she is a little peculiar, but hopefully endearing. But I'm glad she finally has company, and at least the company of one of my eldest brothers as well is reassuring.
I wish I could meet them, but Revan's never gonna let that happen.
Well, perhaps someday he will relent and be all right with it. But if you could at least, I don't know, perhaps persuade him to have a monitored meeting where he watches over you as you let the three of us have a short reunion, and then
That
we
would
can
be interesting.
part. As sad as it would be, I would at least like to just catch up with them, and perhaps we can give you more information, the three of us together, to try and better help our situation and your situation. And I must admit to you, it's better to have multiple of us at one time.
Yeah. I was just thinking that Arrakis could put me in a bubble and then, like, have the three of you, and then that might make Revan feel a little more comfortable with the idea. Because I think he's afraid of you guys, like, suddenly taking over, maybe possessing my body or something like that. But, like, if I'm in a bubble that only Arrakis can, let me out of, then it would maybe dispel some of his fear.
Ah, Well, I never knew that was the problem, but if you like, I feel I can be fairly forward with you, Miss Mina. Um, while we don't want to do that, we have the capacity to do that only when you are sort of knocked unconscious.
Oh,
Like
so
if
not
you were to
sleeping,
be,
but specifically
yes, if you were
unconscious.
to be slain in battle or knocked unconscious in battle, we would then have the ability to step in for a short amount of time to try and get your physical form away, to be healed,
Wow,
to be
that's
at least
cool.
looked after. We don't have much time, but the idea of us is that we were sent here to help the people who wield us and are equipped with us.
Ah,
So if they are to go down, we are to try and get them away from danger, which has not
that's
always
cool.
worked, but we do our best.
That's really cool. I'm excited to share that information. Well, actually, maybe I won't because Revan might not like that.
Perhaps
But
you will.
I think it's really reassuring
Thank you.
to have some backup.
And I do apologize if we do come across as odd or bizarre. We are a peculiar sort, I must admit, and I'm it's slowly coming back, and the few things I've been able to gain is that we were sent here for a purpose, to try and counteract some sort of weapon or armament as best as we could.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate these talks and these moments to interact with someone.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is that you guys didn't get to choose this existence because I'm sure that if you had the choice you would rather be kind of like us where you have a lot more freedom in a physical form to run around and do as you please. So, it's tragic.
You took the words right out of my mouth. As she kind of like sits down and sort of her shoulders going a bit slumped, as she has that still positive demeanor, but you can tell she's a little sad.
Oh, I'm sorry to have reminded you of
Oh,
those sorts of things, but
it's all right.
I want you to know that I sympathize.
I appreciate that. I really do. Oh, look at that! That little mountain's getting further and further away. Such an
It
eyesore.
is. I know eventually we'll have to go there and confront it, but I have to admit it is a little relieving for it to be going away. Even if it's still there, just procrastinating on it.
Indeed. As she kind of like sits there, just looks down to you and just kind of like smiles, kind of like slowly fixing her posture as she's like, at least while I am sad, I'm at least in the company of a good friend, and eventually you will drift back to consciousness and will wake up.
All right. Does Revan have to do anything for his sleep, or
Oh, he
because he already talked to them,
yeah
he's
he
okay?
actively had his during the day, so he's all right.
Okay.
He preached the word of Lord Scurvy.
Lord
The
Scurvy.
evil Emperor Scurv, as he will be referred to as.
Love it.
Lord.
But
Honestly, I think Vanith would definitely join the Church of Scurv if it was offered to him.
even if it was titled the evil Emperor Scurv.
Absolutely.
All right, well.
All right. Wait, does my character know this?
No,
Absolutely.
you don't. You go to sleep. But you all wake up the next day, and Revan, you'll have time to explain it. But before that, Eris, you've been fairly quiet. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a d20?
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, roll that d20 at advantage as well.
Advantage of.
Basically, you roll two d20s and you take the higher number.
Okay.
I know it's been a
Sure,
minute
man.
for a lot of us, so I'm more than happy to let you guys know that like this is how it works because I'm just really excited to finally get back to doing this stuff.
And what's the
16.
likelihood that the faith of Scourge, spreads to your other games?
Well, it's very early on, Revan. We'll have to
0%.
see. You know what? I have to
come
give
on,
him this.
bruh.
It's at least at
Hold on.
0.1% because we have to see how it goes.
Nice.
It may
Right, I'm
become a
gonna find
universal
your other people
constant. It
message
may
then.
not. But either way, Eris with a roll of 16. Go ahead and roll me a d4.
All right.
All right, you're shaving off 4 days of travel.
Let's go.
Nice.
Hey, good job.
You guys are at 14 days
Hell
worth
yeah.
of travel. In the short time you've already gone, getting closer and closer to the supposed entrances to the Empire of the Depths, where you are all questing toward. The crew working as efficiently as possible. Olkaros, the storm giant, pulling the ship fairly quickly. The only sort of odd thing happening would be just Arrakis occasionally looking more and more tired as he just sort of hangs around the ship, but more than willing to talk to people if he want to. Oh, wait a minute. We have another person in chat. Other friends of chat asking about this new amazing religion.
Spread the
I
word.
just saw that. I've pulled it up on my phone so I can make sure I can try and engage with chat as best as possible.
And the best way to engage is to plug the church.
Yes, we will establish the Church of Evil Emperor Scurv.
Curve.
But yeah, well, that's going on. Anything you guys want to do for this day, or just keep going?
Maybe
Keep
check
chugging.
in with Arrakis, but
Alrighty, keep going, keep going. With that, the next most quiet person will be Aragon. Go ahead and roll me a d20 at advantage.
All right. Damn it. Oh, God.
Oh.
What?
Well,
The odds that are astronomically low.
thankfully, you've already rolled that, which is the Storm Giant. So, Aragon, roll me a d4.
Oh, thank God.
More storm giant.
Another storm giant.
And this one's a new Storm Giant. No, it's
Storm giant
unless
fight.
he decides that he's sick of us and just destroys the ship, you know.
No, he's good. Like, no one's talked to him, but like he's alright with that. He's just walking. But yeah, Aragon, you guys shove off 2 days worth of travel as you're now on day 16 out of 20.
Oh, my God.
Damn, we are making such good time.
Yeah, it's like as if your boat being pulled by a literal giant that lives in the ocean is making it more
Yeah.
efficient. As well as
Yeah,
the fact
you guys
that
are
this
welcome.
being one of the few boats with motors.
True.
Yeah,
Thanks to our
we are making good time.
Yeah.
You guys are all welcome.
And now I'm gonna roll something for the
Oh,
boy.
no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay.
Don't like that noise.
So,
Oh.
another peaceful day of travel. Everyone, roll me perception checks. As the day is pretty
God.
calm, the kind of mild storm atmosphere around this giant is actually kind of let up a little bit, and there's no active rain or anything like that. We have a 9. We have a 21.
Oh,
That's me. Finally got one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We have a 16. We have an
Oh.
18.
everyone be
We have a
pristine.
Aw, Zach.
Okay. It happens.
Eris, whenever you're ready, go ahead and roll.
Oh, I
She
did.
did. She got a 19.
Oh, right. My mistake, sorry. Okay, so Vanith, you're a little distracted, just being like, oh, yeah, it's cool being on a boat, but, the storm giant, hey, that's pretty cool, too. I'm going to do some backflips up and down the deck. As you're just, like, constantly flipping back and forth Because I guess
Obviously.
that's the standard thing your character do when he's idle.
Yeah, he doesn't like to stand still. He's a big fan of having something to do, a la backflipping.
Yes.
But
yes.
for the rolls that are higher than 15, Revan, Eris, Mina, and Aragon, you guys notice you don't see Arrakis at all this kind of day as you guys are traveling.
Aww.
He's probably worshipping Lord Scourge.
I like how you know he's a follower. Actually, no, you guys don't know what religion he is. Never mind then.
Fair. One can
he's
only hope
worshiping Lord
it's one
Scourge.
true
I
religion.
told him about it.
Yeah, Arrakis just slipped a pamphlet underneath Arrakis' door. Or Revan slipped a pamphlet under Arrakis' door. I don't know where Revan got these pamphlets, but he has them now.
Damn.
But yeah, with that, we're going to go with the next person who's been respectfully quiet. We're going to go with Vanith. Roll me a d20 at advantage for the next couple of days of travel.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing it's an advantage. 11.
Okay. Whew. Nat 1. That would have been another ship of the
That would have
dead.
been something. But again,
But
we're at
11.
advantage. It's okay.
Great weather. Go ahead and roll me a d4.
D4, baby. Another 1.
Alright, you guys are at day 17 out of 20 for traveling. A little slower than normal today as the storm giant just sort of was like, I
Taking
will
a-
go slower than normal.
Happens.
You know what? After the revelation of yesterday... Oh, wow. Shit. Okay.
Should we be concerned?
I mean, if
Are we
everyone wants to roll a
concerned?
perception check.
Would love to.
Prefer not to, but I'm afraid.
A solid 8.
Uh-oh.
We have 2 8s.
Nice.
17.
Yeah, Irish.
Revan with
24.
a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Revan, shit.
So I can perceive all things.
Alright.
Has no one checked in with, Arrakis?
No one has actively checked in with Arrakis.
Well, you kind of did just.
I just saw
going,
him
and
yesterday.
I'm hoping that I'm not
No,
the
Revan,
only person.
you specifically did not
dominating
see him
everything.
yesterday. All you did was shove a thing under his door and leave him. You didn't see him at all.
Oh, but I thought I was with him just the other day.
Oh no, that was the day before the other day. That was 2 days ago where you were with him, and then the day after that you didn't
bad.
see him, and now it's today.
Dang.
He's
I try
definitely
not to
just
dominate things too much if somebody wants to talk to him.
Well, before you say that, Mina, with an 8, you're gladly looking out over the ocean, occasionally seeing dolphins, kind of like breaching from the ocean, sort of creating a nice display. You and Vanith specifically seeing that. Sydney. Eris,
Nice.
you see, like, that purple friend of theirs hasn't really been milling about the ship much. You don't know him too well either, so you're just like, I guess he must be seasick or something. So you're just going about your own business. But Revan, you're kind of like, I haven't seen Arrakis in 2 days. And he, like, often would talk about how he would be kept up at night about visions of other universes and things that would just kind of haunt him in his sleep. You think maybe it might be a good idea to check in on him with a nat 20.
I go check on him.
Yeah.
Good
You
boy.
walk down to the door and you knock and you hear a kind of like slightly rested version of him say, yeah, 1 second. As he kind of opens the door. Not in his robes. He's got like, I guess just kind of the bed sheets around him. He's just like, hi. Sorry, I've been asleep for a while. What, how's the voyage going?
Well, first I must ask you, have you made your prayers to Lord Scourge?
What?
I look. Do I see the pamphlet on the floor?
Yeah, you see the 5 pamphlets you shoved under the door, still like right in front of the door as he's standing. I was like, oh, what the...
I pick one up and I put it on his chest for him to keep, and then I say, how long have you been sleeping?
That's the funniest thing. I remember helping you out with your stones, then
Mhm.
going over a couple of notes I had, and then I sort of prayed to Ayun, and then I sort of went into a deep meditative sleep. I guess I've had it happen once before, back when I was, where I'm from. I had it happen, and it sort of gave me a lucid vision of like, oh, a stranger will come into your life and whisk you away on a path of stardom. And then I met that asshole Danny Disco, and
Fuck that guy.
well, Vanith, I don't know where you came from, but yeah, Vanith is just down the hallway, and he hears like,
Disturbance.
to be fair, but besides being like a misogynistic kind of douchebag, all right guy, very family oriented, send money back whenever he was up to, but still a bit of an asshole. So I'll give you that, but I wouldn't say like he's awful. Just he's kind of a douchebag. Back when I knew him.
Is Vanith still there? Is he in the?
Oh, I'm not there. I sensed a disturbance.
Yeah, Vanith basically just walked by and walked upstairs.
Yeah.
I handed him a pamphlet on his way up.
You would have given him a pamphlet already by now, so you're good on that front.
Okay, good.
But yeah, Arrakis
For reading.
Arrakis will look to you and be like, but I don't know. I got a vision, like an intense vision of sitting next to like, and this is gonna sound really odd. I got a vision of sitting next to like a large woman, just like a large woman watching people fight in like an arena setting, being nervous for them. I don't know what it meant. I couldn't see the people fighting, so I couldn't get a grasp of it, but the woman I was sitting next to kind of matches a few women I've seen in other snippets I've had sent to me whilst asleep.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, me too.
What is this woman?
Well, from the best I can tell, she's a Triton, so that kind of lines up with where we're going. It may be coincidence, maybe something more.
You're gonna have sex with the queen? That sounds like a queen.
The fuck, Evan?
I don't.
Just asking.
I don't.
I had to unmute
her.
He's gonna go wide-eyed and just be like,
God.
First off, I think we're seeing an empress, but I don't know. I didn't think of it that way, and oh god, that's intimidating.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do that. That's saying something.
Oh boy, that's a whole thing, Revit. I didn't think of that. I wanted insight from somebody, not like, hey, are you gonna fuck the person with? Oh god, as he's kind of like clutching his
I'm
head.
giving you my insight.
Oh, why are you the one giving me insight?
You asked.
Oh, okay.
You just started telling me.
Fair enough. I vented to you and you gave me a response. I walked into this. That's fine.
In all seriousness, I wouldn't worry too much about it for right now.
Are you sure? Because
something bad happens, we'll just blame it on somebody else.
I don't know if that's gonna be a thing we can, like, we're diplomats in the upcoming situation, Revan. I don't know if we can just blame it on somebody else.
Well, then you definitely shouldn't have sex with the Empress. That would be bad.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is I'm nervous and don't know what's happening.
Alright, here's what I'm going to tell you. There's a chance you might be prophetic. Right? You might be seeing the future. You don't know yet. Has this ever happened where you have seen something and then it has come true? Recently.
I mean, I literally just told you about how I was going to meet a sort of, like, affluent starbound person and then went on tour with a musician.
True.
But that's true. Like, I can give you the, like, leeway on that one. That one has a lot of interpretation room. But this is, like...
very specific.
Yeah.
Maybe you should stay on the ship.
Well, no, I can't stay on the ship. You guys, like, I don't want to leave you guys down there alone.
Well, then why are you so concerned?
What?
Are you more concerned that something's gonna go wrong?
It's not that
For
it's gonna go
us.
wrong. It's just that it's like I don't. It's not that it's gonna go wrong. I think it's just more that it could happen. Like not a definite, but that like a possibility.
That it could go right.
Yes, thank you, Vandith. Where did you come from?
I'm just pacing at this point.
What? Oh, all right.
I turn to Vanith and I say, all hail Scurv.
Oh, hell yeah.
Vanith holds up his flyer of Evil Emperor Scurv, and he's like, oh, hell yeah.
Anything to
telling
fight serve.
I'm telling you, Rakis, you have got to get in on this religion. It is the best.
I got in on
don't
the
have our
bottom
dreams
floor.
anymore.
Revan, roll me a persuasion check.
Oh my
Good
god.
lord.
Yes. I get a fucking nat 20. I'm gonna lose it.
Also, I gotta roll something real quick after your persuasion.
Please show me something good.
17.
Moving slow. That's pretty good.
Arrakis will actually kind of look at the flyer you've made and kind of tuck it away into like the kind of blanket he has wrapped around him. But you know what? Something to read would take my mind off this. I'll give this a look at, and I rolled a D100 with triple advantage. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm totally not making a note of something.
Uh-huh.
Very good at converting people.
It's almost like you're charismatic or something.
Other. Vanith, did you have your orange today? Your sacred orange?
Your sacred orange.
I hold up just the peels of an orange that I ate earlier.
You know, I heard.
I've been carrying around the peels for half the day, as the sacred texts tell me to do.
You know, I heard from Saint Revan that you're supposed to take those peels and adorn them upon your body like earrings.
I immediately try and
Pierce
adorn
your-
them. Granted, his ears are not pierced, but he will try his best to like have the orange dangle.
Oh no. But yeah, Revan, you've checked in with Arrakis, who's just sort of like decided to sleep for 2 days to counteract being a nervous wreck. He's looking a little rested, but he's just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but there's two things that have been on my mind. That was one of them. I don't want to bog you down with the other thing.
Oh, talk to me, brother. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. So I don't know if I've told you. I think I might have told Mina this before, maybe the group, but I've been getting visions of a mountain.
Interesting.
Before it was just sort of a mountain in like a snowy pass, and then gradually it's become more than that as I get visions of the mountain, a snowy pass, a cave, and then a doorway. And then things go foggy after the door. Like I'm able to open the door, and then just after that it goes blank.
Is it possible that it is trying to tell you to open yourself up to your friends?
Well, that's what I think right now is. So if that is the case,
No, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have the dream anymore, then that would be the case.
That, you know what? That's a fair hypothesis, Revan. If I don't have the dream tonight, maybe I should just open up to you guys more. But if I do have the dream, maybe it's something else. But either way, I've been wanting to talk to somebody about it, and I appreciate the fact that you came and checked on me, as well as Vanith, who seems to be kind of just walking about the ship.
I'm just talking about the ship, but also I do care about you. I say on
give
the
him a
third
hug.
pass.
I give him a hug.
Oh, hey.
I pull out an orange and I say, make sure you eat your sacred orange.
More of a lime guy, but thank you. As he kind of takes the orange and starts to peel it.
I turn to Vanith
What
and I
about
whisper in
lemon?
his ear, who the fuck is a
You know?
lime guy?
I mean, hey, if you're also a coconut guy, those two kind of line up, and you usually shake it all up. But
See, now that I've heard before. I get that reference.
Good.
But yeah, he'll take the orange, close the door, and just kind of like go back to milling around his room. But yeah, with that, you guys have a rather idle day of travel. And we've had Aragon, Eris, and Vanith roll. Now it's time for Mina to roll.
Whoa!
Roll me a d20 at advantage.
Woo!
Sweet! So exciting! Oh, 20!
Nice.
Let's go.
Let's see if we get
You
back-to-back
don't
20s.
even need that second one.
Rena,
Shit.
Mina, roll me
Yes.
2d4.
Oh!
Sweet. 7.
Nice. That's the whole week.
Are we there?
With
Are we there yet?
that,
Are you there, God? It's me, Fiona.
hello, God, can you hear me? Is there
That's the
anybody
sacred anthem of
there?
Every morning they
Very
get
different musicals, but also not mad.
17 plus 7, that's what, 24?
Yup.
Yeah, you guys are
Fuck
making expert time. There's like you guys are chugging along, and eventually you hear like the sound of some type of thing scuttering around as you see Olkaros just kind of reach down, scoop something up, and just kind of eat from the hand he scooped up as he just keeps like,
Let's go the distance.
as he's just chugging through the water.
Oh,
Nice.
damn.
An animal.
Look at him go.
But yeah, is there anything you guys do this day? Actually, wait a minute,
how's
hold on.
Bracket?
You got a nat 20, which means instead of being 24, I'll add on to make it 28 as you guys are nearly approaching your destination.
Nice.
I thought you
Oh,
said
no, wait a minute.
20 days, though.
It
so
was.
aren't we there?
I'm an idiot. I unfortunately was going off of old information for a different campaign. You guys would have reached your destination.
Nice.
But if there was something you wanted to do before reaching there, you could, Maria and Mina.
Vanith has one thing that he would like to do.
Yes.
I'm
He
excited.
wants to go around to someone on the ship and see if they'll pierce his ears.
Okay.
Just so that he could better follow the sacred texts.
Oh, damn, boy. That new piercing's
Alright,
gonna
so we have
sting.
Vanith wanting to pierce his ears. Does anyone else have anything they wanted to try and do?
How is Arrakis? Is he back up and moving around?
Yeah, he's up and around. You also notice that he's kind of yeah, no, you'd notice this. He's kind of like tried to look nice. Like he's kind of like slicked his hair back. Like before it was kind of like getting wild and
knew it!
attempt. He's kind of like tried to look more
He's gonna
presentable.
whip
He's
that
just
up
like,
with.
I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is I'm meeting royalty, so I'm just gonna try and look nice.
I'm telling you, that son of a
Aw.
bitch is gonna have sex with
My
you.
handsome little
Chris.
man!
Mina, you're literally feet shorter than me. Why are you pinching my cheeks?
Cause I love you!
Aw.
But Vanith, it's easy to find somebody on the ship who's willing to kind of tattoo you. You find this sort of haggard-looking half-orc gentleman who's like,
Right, what can I do for you?
I need my ears pierced.
Alright. It's not going to be pretty since we're kind of far out, but here, take a swig of this.
and he hands you a bottle.
I immediately take a swig.
All right, make me a disadvantaged Constitution saving throw.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Con save or disadvantage. Disadvantage. That's a 10.
All right, so you just drank a substance called Blackwater rum.
Delicious.
Let me just mark that down. So, Vanith, any and all damage dealt to you is unknown to you for the next day, As he hands you the bottle, you take
Damn.
a hearty swig. You don't know how much damage you're going to be dealt, and you do not feel it at all. As you kind of like, he sits you down. You know, being a half orc, he's fairly hardy enough to kind of like sit you down as a Goliath. Right, just hold still, look out the horizon, and just if you feel a slight prick in the side of your head, that's fine. That means the procedure's going good.
Sick.
You say sick, and it comes out like, as he kind of like, you know, about an hour goes by, and eventually you have
What?
your ears pierced. You have very thick ears.
Hour?
Yeah,
Thick lobe.
I rolled for this, and the only way I can think to describe it is like Goliaths have strong, thick skin.
Yeah.
And I assume you would have presented the thing you wanted pierced.
Piercings.
Oh, Zach, I assume you would have presented the thing you wanted pierced to your ear to him.
Yeah, I mean, I just want 2 metal studs, so that in the future, like, he doesn't need to know that I'm going to be putting orange peels on there.
But yeah, he
also,
gives you
like,
like.
I think Vanith also thinks it would be really fashionable to just have, like, some regular studded earrings.
I get you.
We could. Wait. Zach, we could slowly start stretching his ears so you can have gauges and have peels hanging from inside them.
All right, we got to start small, but eventually, I love that plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
About an entire orange.
with this first sort of piercing being on a ship as it's actively sailing, he gives you kind of like a basic set of like kind of, you know, traditional earrings that are kind of like a small hoop that loop around from one side to the other into your ears. Like, right, they did a pretty good job. Yeah, a bit of a bleeder, but that's pretty normal for people who haven't been pierced before. So you just go ahead, sleep it off, you'll be alright. Right, it's rain in the morning.
Yeah, those ear piercings really take it out of you.
I'm sleepy now.
Look, what is your name, little miss?
Mina!
Miss Mina. I'm used to, you know, piercing the occasional Earman, half elf, dwarf, stuff like that. They got, you know, pretty, you know, easy enough skin. I ain't ever pierced a Goliath. And boy, oh boy, is them fucking skin tough.
Uh-huh.
Look, I had to kind of, like, I kind of like had a dagger just kind of stabbing a hole in his ear, but eventually I just had to, well, let's just get in there, get stuck in. I'd use all my teeth to put a hole in there. Do you want your ear pierced as well?
No, I already have several piercings, but thank you.
Fair enough. As he kind of like just regards you and kind of like finishes tending to Vanith and then just goes back to his normal ship duties. But yes, with that, Aragon, Eris, anything you guys want to do before you guys arrive to your destination?
Nope. Nothing in mind.
Alrighty.
Oops, I had actually muted myself. Chase was doing some dishes.
That's alright.
But anyways, I mean, SAB's getting a little restless. He's ready to get off and stretch his legs a little bit, but you know, other than that, there's nothing really to be done. This ship kind of blows.
I got you. With that, you guys come to the sort of destination, and let me put you on the page because I realized I moved myself there. And you come to this sort of small, it's not even an island, it's sort of like just a kind of small cluster of 3 sort of sandbars with Triton standing around it. And I don't know if I told you this earlier, but you all were given sort of small rings that could be affixed to your bodies that would indeed take up 1 attunement slot that would allow you to breathe underwater. That's the only kind of bonus you get. It's you move at 25 you move at a speed of 25 as opposed to 30. Your attacks will have disadvantage under the water, but the rings at least allow you to breathe underwater. Mina, you don't have to worry about that since the necklace you have allows you to do everything you do normally underwater, no problem.
Nice.
But with that, the ship sort of pulls alongside this area, and the kind of like Tritons sort of stand on guard. The few in the water also kind of like going on guard as they see you approach, and the captain kind of calling out, "Hello there, traveler. Are you the... I believe I have the right name, the Doomsday Defenders?"
Yes.
Yep.
Very well then.
Maybe.
Disembark when you are ready, and we shall lead you down to the depths.
Alrighty. Are we all ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Arrakis? You
Good to
doing
go.
good, bud?
Yep, good to go.
Alright. You're looking good,
Everybody
sweetheart.
eat their oranges today.
I already,
Yes, sir.
I already ate mine.
Yes.
Good man.
I'm still finishing. You see, Aiden. I'm still finishing mine up. Hold on.
Oh, good. I know you are a religious man, so it is good to see you following the correct religion.
He kind of like squeezes the orange. He gets the citrus in his mouth and just kind of like palms the thing into his face and just throws the rind aside. Like, all right, I'm ready to saddle up.
I would like to, if possible, say that I went into the kitchen and grabbed a single lime and just kind of very sneakily hand it to Arrakis so that he can have his preferred method of citrus.
Hey,
Like
alright,
it.
yeah, that's easy enough to do since well, they were scrambling to find a new chef after the ghost ship, but yeah, you're able to get a lime and hand it to Arrakis. He looks like, "Thanks, buddy."
I got you.
As with that, you all get ready to walk the plank and plunge into the ocean. You all jump off the ship, meet with the shark guard and the Triton that are flanking him, as you all kind of feel the slight pull that will lead you to the depths. And with that, we're going to call a session for this week.
Nice.
Alright.
So, sorry there's no real combat, and I do sorry some players didn't get to have as much screen time as others. But with
I didn't die.
considering the internet
We know
problem,
what the supporting roles are. It's okay.
gotcha.
Sorry.
Hopefully, I can figure out what the fuck happened to the internet. I've been doing streams here on the Game House, no problem. Yet all of a sudden, this is now like the night where it's like, oh, there's apparently a problem. But either way, hopefully you guys had fun. Join us next Thursday for the start of the new leg of this campaign, the depths, as I'll be referring to it for now until I come up with a better name. And join us this Saturday when I stream more online cooperative gameplay, as I've been doing for the prior Saturdays. And hey, this Sunday, hopefully I don't have something happen that kind of draws my attention away, because I really want to try and do single-player games on Sunday. Fortunately, something came up last Sunday that really kind of took me away from it, so I may do a bit of an update on that Saturday, but that's sort of up in the air at the moment. All you need to know is that like something happened Sunday that just kind of took me away from streaming. But I do plan on streaming Saturday and Sunday this weekend, so tune in there around 4:30 both days. Well, actually, 4:30 on Saturday and a little bit earlier on Sunday that I'm still kind of tweaking out. But thank you all so much for watching. You can check the rest of this series out at Cast Iron Comics on YouTube. And until next time, we'll see you all around the house. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Later.
Bye.